just really impressed because, you know, you have to be a great picker to pull off what they're about to do here. And when I was a little kid, my uncle and my grandpa and my family always made music, and this is one of the songs they sang. And I thought they wrote it, but it turns out it's a pretty famous song. I think the Louvin brothers did it too, but this is my favorite version of "There's a Hole in the Bottom of the Sea" by Lonzo and Oscar. You got to be good to do this. Thank you for allowing me to talk about hillbilly music today.
There's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. Lady who? There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. It's not on the log here. There's a knot on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a knot on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. He's the head of the thing. Ward on the frog is. There's a ward on the frog and a knot on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a ward on the frog and a knot on the log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. Flea this time. Good kid, lady. And there's a flea on the hound, a ward on the frog, on a knot on a log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a flea on the hound, a ward on the frog, on a knot on a log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. It's a kicker, nigga. There's a chicker on a flea on a hound, a ward on a frog, on a knot on a log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a chicker on a flea on a hound, a ward on a frog, on a knot on a log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a danger on a horse, on a chicker on a flea on a hound, a chicker on a knot on a flea on a log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a danger on a ward on a chicker on a hound, a flea on a ward on a log, on a knot on a log in the hole in the bottom of the sea. There's a hole, there's a hole, there's a hole in the bottom of the sea. I didn't miss a word, did I? Me too. I bet I can sing faster than you can. I bet you can't do it. Speed up. No, please do it. No, please do it. Here we go. The third thing you'll hear when you're going to feel pound water frozen on the low and hole above the sea. Sound like a WPA worker going to dinner, don't it? There's the thing you'll hear when you're going to feel pound water frozen on the low and hole above the sea.
All right, now we're covering a lot of bases here on this week's Hillbilly Fever Show, and I hope that everybody out there is having a good time and cutting loose. Maybe you've popped the cork on a jug of moonshine. I sure hope so, because that helps everything. It just makes everything go better. And I tell you what, man, hillbilly music, you got to bring in some dancing.
Lake of Ozark square dancers.
Hey, grab your buddy. All join hands and search this out. Let me stretch that in your mouth. Turn that back, it's gone, it's gone. Shake and swing your body. Turn that back and don't be foolish. Let me recover.
Now that is some fine dancing right there. And of course, if you're talking about hillbilly, you just got to have some crazy old timer just talking about some crazy nonsense too.
You ever seen a man's brains? Oh, I've seen them. I take them up, scoop them up, put them in, do them up like brains. You're buying brains. But there's a bowl right here, and there's a bowl here. bowl here and a bowl there. Now they're connected to the spine. The spine goes down the backbone. And if all four of these bowls or brains, if all four of them is functioning, you're not a one-track mind. You're a four-track mind.
And then, of course, you got to have some just nonsense, crazy, musical, insane thing that you've never seen before. And here we go, a little pickin' and eefin'.
There will always be hillbilly music and the fans who love it, but hillbilly is not all old vintage music. Let's get Deke's take on some of the more modern hillbilly stuff.
All right, now at some point, country music started selling a lot of records, and they started getting more urban, you know, like they called it countrypolitan. It became sort of a very smooth, polished country sound. And that sort of took over the whole country music establishment for a while. But, you know, Americans, they just loved this whole hillbilly image. And through the 1960s and the 1970s and the 1980s, this whole hillbilly idea kept going through things like the Beverly Hillbillies TV show, Green Acres. Then you had the TV show Hee Haw, which was really monumental for keeping a lot of that music alive and bringing on some of these old timers and that sort of thing. And, you know, Hee Haw broadcast from the late 60s all the way up into the 90s. And country music people who lived in the country, they watched that show every single week. It was really influential. And so I'd like to play one clip here of Buck Owens and Roy Clark, joined by Jerry Reed, doing a little segment that they did every week called Pickin' and a Grinnin'. Here we go, keeping that hillbilly flame alive.
Have you been out to Operaland yet?
Yeah, and you wouldn't believe the crowd. I said to this one woman, have you ever seen such confusion? And she said, well, mister, you ought to know you're in the ladies' room.
Jerry, yes. You want to come with me tonight to a lecture at the auditorium? It's on sex appeal.
No thanks, I already gave.
Hey, Jerry, what time is it by your watch?
It's exactly 10-2.
10 to what?
I don't know, times was tough. I had to lay off one of the hands.
You look like you need a haircut bad. Have you tried Archie's barbershop yet?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I had. I was over there this afternoon, but his hands was dirty. I just wouldn't let him cut my hair.
Dirty? How disgraceful, Archie. Who ever heard of a barber with dirty hands?
Well, it wasn't my fault. It just so happened at that particular time nobody had asked for a shampoo.
And of course, one thing that was great about the TV shows of that era, not only Hee Haw, but When TNN started, you know, they showed a lot of live country music. A lot of these old timers were still around, and they were still in good shape. So they would have people like Little Jimmy Dickens, Grandpa Jones, people like that on their shows all the time. And I have always really enjoyed this clip of Jumpin' Bill Carlisle doing Have a Drink on Me. Now, Jumpin' Bill Carlisle had a band called the Carlisles, and they had hits going back to the late 40s, early 1950s, and he was most famous for being this kind of short, squatty guy and jumping really high off the ground. And you can see in this clip, he's pretty old, but man, he's still doing it. So let's watch this now. Jumpin' Bill Carlisle, Take a Drink on Me.
Yeah, I can't jump hardly as high, but I can stay up longer.
He's a floater.
Yeah.
One of the finest, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bill Carlisle and the Carlisles. Get it.
In 1880 down a dusty road, along came a miner with a big fat load. He was caked in dirt from his head to his foot, his hair so black that it looked like soot. He reined in his mule and he hitched him to the rail, and he said, "Old feller, it's the end of the trail." He ambled down to the old saloon. He said, "I know a filly and it ain't quite noon, so hey, hey, everybody drink on me. Everybody
Have a drink, have a drink, have a drink on me. Everybody have a drink on me. Hey, hey, everybody drink on me. Have a drink, have a drink, have a drink on me. Everybody have a drink on me. Hey, hey, everybody drink on me.
Well, just got a letter from down in Tennessee. It said my uncle died and left an oil well to me. So hey, hey, everybody drink on me. My uncle took potatoes and he struck an oil well. I've been a-digging all my life and I nearly got it. Hey, 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 everybody drink on me. Yeah, yeah.
Have a drink, have a drink, have a drink on me. Everybody have a drink on me. Hey, hey, everybody drink on me. Have a drink, have a drink, have a drink on me. Everybody have a drink on me. Hey, hey, everybody drink on me.
Gonna sink my ship and give up the night again. Hey, hey, everybody drink on me. Sell your shovels and your old long johns. You can make a fortune writing animated songs. Hey, hey, everybody drink on me.
Have a drink, have a drink, have a drink on me. Everybody have a drink on me. Hey, hey, everybody drink on me. I get it, have a drink, have a drink, have a drink on me. Everybody have a drink on me. Hey, hey, everybody drink on me.
Now, I started playing this music in the 1990s when we started a band called Dave and Deke Combo with Dave Stuckey. And we were very lucky to back up a lot of our heroes, our rockabilly and hillbilly heroes. And one of the highlights, I would say, of our career was when we got to back up the great Don MADDOX of the MADDOX Brothers and Rose, the last living member of the important West Coast hillbilly group. And this next clip that we're going to show you is from Don MADDOX's very last show that he did. We backed him up at Viva Las Vegas. We do a little thing called Hillbilly Fest. And so this is 93-year-old Don Juan MADDOX doing Step It Up and Go. Here we go. Take it away, Don. Now that is hillbilly. I love Don Juan. Man, he is so cool. I always loved it whenever he would end a song, and he would give it everything that he had, and at the end of the song he'd just go, shoo. That was his trademark ending. And I will say that after we did that last show of his in Vegas, I saw him a couple hours later, and he was celebrating by having a dinner, 2 bowls of vanilla ice cream. He was just going all out. That was extremely hillbilly. In addition to being able to play with our heroes, there's also new bands that are being formed to keep the hillbilly flame alive. One of those bands is my own band, DEKE and the Whippersnappers, featuring a couple of young guys, the Whippersnappers. That would be Bert Avalos and Xander Griffith. And so we're going to play, this is actually from one of Chris Burkhardt's shows. This is us doing an old Skeets McDonald song called You Better Not Go, and keeping that hillbilly flame alive.
1, 2, 3. I got to thinking last night about that old hometown of mine, and of the love I left there all alone. So I packed up this morning and I caught myself a train, and now last time on my way back home. But the clickety-clack of the wheels on the track say, you better not go, you better not go, you better not be going back. Say, you better not go, you better not go, you better not be going back. Now the train moves along and my nerves are nearly gone, but I know all the tears that I have caused. Is her love still as true, or has she found somebody new? Can I still claim her heart, or have I lost? But the clickety-clack of the wheels on the track say, you better not go, you better not go, you better not be going back. Say, you better not go, you better not go, better not be going back. I was so wrong to go, and my fears seem to grow, that somebody is now in my place. Will she tell me to stay, or will she just turn away? Will she kiss me or laugh right in my face? But the clickety-clack of the wheels on the track say, you better not go, you better not go, you better not be going back. Say, you better not go, better not go, better not be going back. Well, I broke every vow, and she may hate me now, for I've wronged this whole world for so long. But I've just got to know if she still loves me so, and forgives me for doing so wrong. But the clickety-clack of the wheels on the track say, you better not go, you better not go, better not be going back. Say, you better not go, you better not go, you better not be going back. Say, you better not go, better not go, better not be going back. Say, you better not go, better not go, better not be going back.
All right, I hope you enjoyed that. And one of the things that myself and Dave Stuckey have really enjoyed keeping alive is a weird old tradition called eefing. And, eefing is something that goes way, way, way back. But it became popular again on the Hee Haw television show when they would play these 2 crazy old coots, Jackie Phelps and Jimmy Riddle, doing some eefing and ham boning. And so I thought, man, if we're cutting loose and having fun on this week's edition of Hillbilly Fever, we cannot let it go by without showing some classic eefing and ham boning. So let's see a little bit right now.
Come on, river, go east, west, east, east, west, east, east, east.
How about that, Deke Dickerson, everybody? He's an encyclopedia. Remember those? Of hillbilly. A human jukebox. And dean of the College of Hillbilly Knowledge. Let's let Deke take us all home on this number with Chris Scruggs and Kenny Vaughn.
The leaves are green and the redbird sings out the blue, 'cause you don't want my love. Oh, take it away now, Gary. Once upon a time you used to walk and smile at me, but now you don't. You ain't have time for me, 'cause you don't want my love. Some other guy is taking up all your time. Now you don't have time for me, 'cause you don't want my love. You don't seem to care a thing about me. You'd rather live without me than to have my arms around you in the night too cold and you're so all alone. In the summertime when all the trees and leaves are green and the redbird sings I'll be blue, 'cause you don't want my love. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows my sorrow. Thank you, friends. I'm Deke Dickerson. Let's let these guys solo on out of here. What do you say? From Los Angeles, California, Mr. Deke Dickerson, ladies and gentlemen. How about it?
If you liked our show today, be sure to let us know by dropping a few nickels in the virtual jukebox, the tip jar at StellarJAX.com. Our Venmo is Jack's Hideaway. See all of our Eclectic American Roots episodes collected on YouTube at the channel we call StellarJAX. We'll be back next Sunday for another musical matinee starring your favorite roots artists at noon Pacific time. See you all down the Hillbilly Highway.